after we said we were going to do it 2 days a week, we finally are able to do it on the 4th week. So here we go. Time for our picks this weekend. I'm going to go ahead and start in college because, I don't know, I like saving the NFL for last.
Oh, yeah.
So, South Carolina at number 3, Florida. Florida, the Gators are a 17.5-point favorite. I'm going to go ahead and take the Gators in that one.
Oh, yeah. Florida looks good. Better than I thought.
Kyle Trask might be the best quarterback in the SEC.
Yeah.
I don't know who's even close.
Who is even playing quarterback for Alabama right now? Is it Tua's
Mac
little brother?
Jones? No, it's Mac Jones. Tua's brother's at Maryland now. He transferred.
Oh shit, he transferred?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
All right, Baylor. Here's our game. Baylor at West Virginia. The Bears are a 3-point favorite. What do you think?
I think it's going to be a close one. I'll go West Virginia.
I do too. Baylor, I don't think Baylor has ever beaten West Virginia in West Virginia.
Are you sure about that? I think I went to a game Baylor beat us in Milan Puskar.
First of all, it's Milan Puskar.
All right, sorry. But no, like I'm pretty sure 2012 or 13 we did. Maybe 14.
No, 14 was the year they came in ranked at like number 4, and we beat them by 2 touchdowns.
Oh, shit.
2016, we beat them in Morgantown. 2018, we demolished them. So they've never beaten us in Morgantown.
I remember the first Big 12 game ever.
That was insane. It was 70-63. I don't think this game's going to be anywhere near that.
No.
I don't really know what to expect from either of these teams. Baylor, I know, looked pretty good last week against Kansas, but it's Kansas. I don't really have a good sample size with them. With us, I remember last year's game, we dominated that game defensively. Baylor couldn't do just about anything right offensively in that game. We abused them at the line of scrimmage. We ended up losing the game, which if the offense can move the ball just a little bit, we win. This feels like a game to me that we're going to have circled. Like we've had circled all off season. Like we got to get the best of Baylor and Morgantown. So I'm gonna go West Virginia as well, but I think it's very close.
Yep.
TCU at number 9, Texas. Texas is a 11.5-point favorite.
I kind of want to go upset here.
I do too, but Gary Patterson hasn't been that good at TCU aside from the 2017 season. Since Trayvon Boykin left.
Is their defense still as good as it always is?
It usually is. I will say that. Gary Patterson usually does field a good defense, but I don't know who their quarterback is, and their offenses haven't been that good since Trayvon Boykin left.
Yeah, honestly, I want to go upset there, but I don't think he gets enough points, so I'll go Texas.
I'll go Longhorns as well. I think Ellinger's going to be able to score enough points to win. NC State at Pitt, number 24 Pitt. Pitt is a 14-point favorite. I'll be honest. I have doubted Pitt twice the last 2 weeks, I think. Maybe just last week. I don't remember. This team looks pretty good. They look pretty good. I hate to say it, but Pitt looks good. They beat Louisville pretty bad. So I'm going to go Panthers here. I'm sure, though, Tony Gibson, he used to be at WVU, knows the Western PA area very well since he recruited it. He's going to want to win this game, but I don't know if NC State has enough. I think Pitt's the better team.
Yeah, I agree. Pitt has looked really good, so I agree.
What is next? All right, number 13, Texas A&M at number 2, Alabama. Alabama is a 18-point favorite. A&M didn't look very good last week against Vanderbilt. Only beat the Commodores by about 5 points. Like 17-12. Maybe they were looking ahead to this game. I don't know. As long as they have Jimbo Fisher, they're going to be in the game. But I got to go Crimson Tide here.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I'm losing them. Am I losing you?
So, are there any really good matchups? No, you heard me anyway.
Okay, there we go. All right. I mean, A&M Alabama is one. But then, Auburn and Georgia is the game of the week. It's not a great week.
I mean, Auburn and Georgia's pretty good. Auburn actually just lost, didn't they?
No, they won last week.
Oh.
They beat Kentucky. Number 12, North Carolina at Boston College. North Carolina is a 14-point favorite.
Yeah, I'll go North Carolina.
Yeah, I'll go Tar Heels as well. I think Sam Howell is probably the best underclassman quarterback in the country.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. What about has my boy Bo Nix been balling this year?
Bo Nix looks good. I think Sam Howell's better. Sam Howell's a better quarterback, I think. Here's one I'm kind of looking forward to a little bit. It's a group of 5 game, but number 25 Memphis at SMU. Memphis is a 2-point favorite. I'm going to go slight upset here, and take the Mustangs.
Yeah, I'll go SMU too. I like
SMU has been scoring a ton of points. They scored like 65 last week. They've played the last 3 weeks. Memphis hasn't played in a month, just about. So I think they're going to be a little out of sync. I'm going to go SMU. All right. Texas Tech at Kansas State. Kansas State's a 2.5-point favorite.
I'll go Kansas State.
Yeah, Kansas State. I'll go Wildcats as well. Texas Tech still has
better
issues.
Than I thought last week.
What's up?
They looked better than I thought last week.
They did, and I think Chris Kleiman, I think is how you pronounce his name, is a good coach. He came from North Dakota State, won some national titles there. I think he's good. So it was a little foolish of me to think that Oklahoma would just run them, blow them out. But Texas Tech, their problem, even under the Cliff Kingsbury years, is defense. They gave up like 32 to Houston Baptist, and then they gave up 63 to Texas. I think Kansas State's going to be able to move the ball up and down the field on them. I'm going to take the Wildcats. Here's one where the line is a little surprising. Ole Miss at Kentucky. Not a ranked game, but a game I would watch. Kentucky a 6-point favorite.
Really?
Yeah, I know.
Are they allowed to have fans or anything?
I don't know. I haven't looked.
Maybe that's where that spread's coming from. Maybe Kentucky just has something that allows some fans in the stadium.
Most of the southern schools are allowing fans, from what I've seen. So I'd imagine Kentucky's probably on that list. But even then, it's just probably at most 25% capacity.
Yeah.
I picked Kentucky last week. I wasn't that impressed, I'm going to take – I liked what I saw from Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss. I'm going to take the Rebels by like a field goal here.
Okay. I think I'll go Kentucky.
All right. Some differences there.
Yeah, we got to switch up here somewhere.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention. So I lead in college by 1. 24 record at 24-11. You are 23-12. I forgot to mention that.
Okay, not bad.
All right, Oklahoma. Here's another one. Again, I would watch. Number 18, Oklahoma at Iowa State. Sooners are a 7-point favorite.
They're going to run them off the field, dude. They're going to win by 3 touchdowns. I don't think it's close.
I don't know if it'll be that much. I'll tell you what. We'll find out how good Oklahoma really is this game.
I just think you're going to see a bunch of 5-star recruits really pissed off.
No, I agree. And I'm going to take the Sooners as well. But if they only beat Iowa State by about 7, maybe more, less, or 10, we can talk about Oklahoma maybe being not that good.
Yeah.
Here's another one that I'll go ahead and say. I'm taking Clemson, Virginia at number 1 Clemson. Clemson's a 28-point favorite. I'm not picking against Clemson here. All right, game of the week. Auburn at Georgia. Georgia's a 6.5-point favorite. Auburn ranked number 7. Georgia's ranked number 4.
That is a good game. I'm going to go Georgia, though.
You're going to go Dogs.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to listen to my pal Stephen Copper, who was on the show earlier this week to talk some baseball, and he told me, watch out for the Tigers. He talked me into this pick. I'm going to go Auburn here. Georgia was not impressive last week against Arkansas. The game at one point was 7-5, I think, at halftime. Like, you look at the final score, and it really wasn't. You know, you look at the final score, you're like, oh, Georgia won in a blowout. It wasn't. It was like 7-5 at halftime. Like I said, Auburn's got dudes defensively. I think they have a slightly better quarterback. I don't really know who's going to quarterback Georgia. They kind of had. I think they even made a quarterback change last week mid-game. I'm going to take the Tigers here, who have not won in Georgia since 2005. They're due for one. They're due for one.
That's true. I like that pick.
All right, so now we're going to get into the fun stuff, the NFL. I like making NFL picks more than college. All right, so we're going to go honor system here. We are recording this before the Thursday night game. Broncos at Jets. The line has shifted since last night, or earlier this week. The Broncos were a favorite. Now the Jets are a 1-point favorite. Who are you officially going to take?
Easily Broncos.
You're going to take the Broncos. All right.
Easily.
I went Broncos as well. I have zero faith in Adam Gase right now.
I mean, dude, they are just nobody wants to play for that team. I mean, they got blown out by Nick Mullens. Did you play against Nick Mullens?
No. Mullens is in San Francisco. He played the Giants.
No, I'm saying, didn't you play against him in high school?
Yeah. I forgot. Yeah. I thought you were talking about something else. But no, Mullens played the Giants last week. We're talking Jets.
No, but
Mullens plays for the 49ers, who played the Giants.
Out of the Jets.
All right. We'll get to Nick Mullens here in a bit.
Who did the Jets lose? The Colts.
The Colts, yes.
Okay, sorry.
All right. Speaking of the Colts, here we go. Colts at Bears. Colts right now a 2.5-point favorite.
This is going to be a really good game.
If the here it is. If the Bears win this game, I'm willing to say the Bears are for real.
I'm going to go Bears.
You're going to go Bears. All right. Like I said, if the Bears win this game, I am fully prepared to say that the Bears are legit. I'm very high on the Colts. I'm high on Frank Reich.
What I'm saying, just to tell you my thought process.
Yeah, go ahead.
I do think the Colts might be a little better. I think Khalil Mack might actually rip Phillip Rivers' head off from how stationary he is. So we'll see.
Interesting. Obviously, that is a factor. However, I think the Bears have a pretty vulnerable defense. They're ranking about middle of the pack in total defense. They don't give up a lot of points, but I do think it's a defense you can move the ball against. And I think Frank Reich can dial up a good game plan. And the Colts are playing very good defense. They're ranking in like the top 5 in about every defensive category. I know they played the Jaguars, the Jets, and whoever they played 2 weeks ago who wasn't very good. Yeah. So their stats are a little inflated, but I'm going to go Colts here. I like the Colts here. Jaguars at Bengals. Bengals are a 3-point favorite.
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
Jaguars at Bengals. Bengals 3-point favorite.
I'm going to go Jags.
Jags. Interesting.
I'm going to go Jags.
All right. I don't hate that pick. Because they do have extra time to prepare, which is a factor.
I just saw how bad the Bengals offensive line is last week firsthand, and they have a pretty deep defensive line down. Well, actually, I don't know. Ngakoue's still out, but I see Josh Allen, getting to the quarterback a little bit. I know they still have a good pair of defensive tackles, if I'm not mistaken. So.
All right, I'm gonna go Bengals here. Cincinnati feels due for a win. They played well 3 games in a row. They almost beat the Chargers. They almost beat the Browns. Tied the Eagles. Probably should have beaten the Eagles. So I'm going to go Bengals here. They feel due. Joe Burrow, they feel due for a win here. I'm going to go Bengals. Browns at Cowboys. Cowboys 4.5-point favorite. I'll be honest. I'm tempted to take the Browns in this game. I've liked the way they've played the last 2 weeks. Granted, it's been against terrible teams. And it's a game where if they win, they're legit. I think they're a legit team, and we have to hit the panic button for Dallas.
Yeah. I think Dallas wins, but Cleveland covers. I do think this is going to be a close game. I don't see Dallas blowing out very many teams.
No, I don't either.
Because they're going to let teams score.
Yeah.
So I mean, there might be instances where they literally score 50 points, but I think the other team's going to score 30. You know what I mean? So I think that this could be one of those 30 to 40 games.
Yeah, I can see that. So here's the thing. I looked it up. When Baker Mayfield, and I know this is kind of subjective, but when Baker Mayfield is playing a quarterback that is better than him, his record's not very good. And I think Dak Prescott's better than Baker Mayfield. So I think the Browns are just going to have a hard time keeping up offensively with Dak Prescott, who has been playing well. The Cowboys aren't losing games because of their offense. They're losing games because their defense can't stay off the field or can't keep teams out of the end zone. So I'll go Cowboys. I think this is a much closer game than people think.
I agree. I do think it's going to be very close. Like I said, I do think the Browns cover.
Sure. Saints at Lions. Right now, the Saints are a 4-point favorite. This is another one I think watch out for.
No, this is sort of a trap game for the Saints. I'm still gonna have to go Saints though, man. The Lions are bad. They're poorly coached. It is what it is. Yeah, I'm gonna go Saints.
So
it's gonna be close though.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm trying to think of the right words. So the Detroit coaching staff had their backs against the wall last week against Arizona, snuck out a win. Now they can kind of ease up. They can unclench. They've saved their jobs for a few more weeks. Whereas on the other side, you have a New Orleans team and staff that is a little desperate right now. They've lost 2 in a row. The defense isn't playing well. Drew Brees can't throw the ball downfield. I think the Saints are going to show up this week and win. I think the Lions are going to have a hard time defending Alvin Kamara as well. So I'm going to go Saints.
Absolutely Saints. I don't even think it's going to be that close. Yeah.
Seahawks at Dolphins. Seahawks are a 6.5-point favorite. This is like 3 in a row. I'd watch out for the Dolphins coming off a big performance on Thursday night. Extra time to prepare. West Coast team going to the East Coast. You never know in that scenario.
Will not be close.
You don't think?
That normally counts, but it doesn't for Russell Wilson.
No, I know. I agree.
I always say, dude, like, when the Rams got to come out to the East Coast or the Chargers, but it's not for them.
That's true. No, that's true. I wrote about it on my blog a few weeks ago when they went to Atlanta.
You're the one who told me that.
Yeah, he was like 19-5 in games on the East Coast. And now it's 20-5 with the win over Atlanta. So they play very well on the East Coast with Russell Wilson. I'm not stupid enough to pick against him right now. He's slinging it. I'll go Seahawks. I think the Dolphins can keep this close, though.
Okay.
Chargers at Bucks. Bucks are a 7-point favorite.
Bucks.
Yeah.
I'll go. Cover.
Yeah, I actually like the Buccaneers a lot this week.
They're starting to roll a little bit.
They're starting to figure things out offensively, but the unsung hero is their defense. Has been outstanding through 3 weeks, really. I think Justin Herbert or Tyrod Taylor, whoever, is under center is going to have a hard time this week.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it's going to be Herbert, but yeah.
It probably will be Herbert. Ravens at Washington football team. Ravens are a 13.5-point favorite. I'll go ahead and say it. I like the Ravens by a lot.
Yeah, same here. They're going to be pissed off.
Yep. You get embarrassed. I mean, I always like well-coached teams that get embarrassed on primetime games. And that's what happened on Monday. I think the Ravens are going to come out pissed off and win by a lot.
Yeah, agreed.
Cardinals at Panthers. Again, West Coast team going East Coast. But Cardinals are a 3.5-point favorite. I think this could be an upset.
I want to go upset
very,
very badly, but I think that the Cardinals are going to win it late.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go Cardinals as well. I don't really trust Teddy Bridgewater to outperform Kyler Murray.
I don't.
And the Panthers are without Christian McCaffrey, who's a huge playmaker. They won last week. I don't think you can keep that or sustain that without him. All right, Vikings at Texans. Texans are a 4-point favorite.
I'm going to go Vikings.
Vikings, really?
Yeah, they're not as bad as they look, dude. They're just not. They're not that bad.
I don't think they are either. They've improved, I think, weekly.
Same with the Texans.
Yeah.
I mean, they just don't scare me at all. I mean, I think that this is like a 49-51 not score, but I mean like percentage-wise of who could win, and I just ended up going, Vikings. I'm going to go Vikings, though.
I don't hate that. I like Mike Zimmer. I think he's the better coach here. But the Texans have the best player on the field in Deshaun Watson. The Vikings are banged up in the back end of their defense. And I don't trust Kirk Cousins to outperform Deshaun Watson. I'm going to go Texans here. And a shootout.
Yeah, I do think it'll be a bit of a shootout, though, for sure.
Giants at Rams. This is another one. Go ahead and book it. It Rams by a lot.
Yeah, it won't even be close.
The Giants. I put faith in the Giants last week to beat the 49ers, and they felt who were depleted, by the way. So this, I'll go ahead and I'll mention Nick Mullens next game, but like the 49ers were depleted, and the Giants couldn't move the ball. They lost by 27 points. I've never seen that happen.
The Giants are the worst team in the NFL. They're worse than the Jets.
I think the Jets are worse, but it ain't by a lot.
No.
Rams, they're too good. Giants won't be able to move the ball. Moving on.
Yep.
Bills at Raiders. This is a game I'm looking forward to. I want to see it. One, if the Raiders are legit. If they lose, I think we're going to say the Raiders aren't that good. But I also want to see our boy Josh Allen play. This is a vulnerable defense.
You know what? I really, 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 really want to go Raiders, but I'm not going against my boy right now.
No, Josh Allen is one of, 4 or 5 quarterbacks right now that are just slanging at Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, and then I put Josh Allen right behind them. They're just playing too well. I got to go Bills as well. And I think their defense is finally going to step up.
And I hate saying this because I do love Josh Allen, but he's due for a stinker. I mean, he's going to have one. Yeah. So we'll see.
Or maybe we're seeing the real Josh Allen.
Yeah, I hope he's just fucking an elite player. It's just so I can say I told you so to everyone like I did. Because I said him coming out of the draft, I would have took him first in that draft.
So have you seen the Pardon My Take guys hand out like apology letters to everyone who doubted Josh Allen? I want one of those for everyone who mocked me when I said Josh Allen was the real deal when he came out for the draft.
It's like, dude, if he gets a player who can get people open for him and he doesn't have to, fit a ball on a keyboard, he's going to be good. I knew that the whole time.
All right, so your Eagles at the 49ers. I'll go ahead and tell my Nick Mullens story. I got to do it every time he plays. So my senior year of high school, we're playing our arch rival one of our arch rivals in the playoffs, Spain Park High School. Nick Mullens is from my hometown, different high school though. And he was a sophomore, this scrawny little sophomore out there doing the best he could. And my best friend was living in the backfield the entire game. Like, how Nick Mullens is still walking, I have no idea. There was one play. I've sent you the picture, I'm pretty sure. And it's well after he hits him. But when it happened, no one blocked my friend. He gets a clear shot. Who was a senior at the time, gets a clear shot on this sophomore scrawny quarterback. Destroys him. Like I said, how he didn't break his body, I have no idea. Ball goes sailing up in the air. My other best friend was playing on the field. Taylor, who's been on the show, catches it, runs it for a touchdown, kind of seals the deal. We win. But that's just always the story I love to tell when Nick Mullens is on the field.
That's sweet.
Now he's playing in the fucking NFL and doing well, so good for him. I got to cheer for Hoover boys.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But, all right, Eagles, who, by the way, Hoover boys, shout out to Marlon Humphrey, getting a giant-ass contract today. I know the family. I played with his older brother. My brother played with Marlon. Love it. Good for him.
Yep, very well deserved. He's one of the more underrated players in the whole NFL.
Exactly. All right, so let's go ahead. Eagles, 49ers.
Niners.
Yeah. I hate doing it. I hate picking against Doug Peterson and Carson Wentz, but it's getting to the point. I got to see it happen before I believe it's going to happen.
Dude, it's not a strength anymore. Some people used to say that before, but it's like it's almost the opposite now. It's like I don't want to bet on fucking Wentz and Peterson at this point.
I got to see it happen, and that happened last year too. I was like, I got to see them turn it around first before I believe it's going to happen, and I'm not sure it's going to happen. Shanahan showed me a lot last week. Depleted roster, winning. I think they're going to beat a down on their luck Philly team this week.
Yep.
Monday Night Football, Falcons, Packers 7-point favorite.
I mean, this is the best offense right now versus the worst defense right now. I mean, I do think it'll continue. I know you're a little worried about the Packers defense, and I don't think that the Falcons are going to do you any favors there. I do think they're going to be able to move the ball a little bit, but ultimately, one team's going to make way more mistakes than the other one, and we both know who that is. So that's how I look at that one.
And I assume that's the Packers are going to win.
The Packers are 100% going to make better decisions.
So I feel better about it after I saw some of the injury on some of the guys in the injury report for the Falcons. Like Grady Jarrett didn't practice today. Ricardo Allen didn't practice today. Keanu Neal didn't practice today. Very banged up defensively. I did see, though, Alan Lazard didn't practice today for Green Bay, so that concerns me a little bit if Devontae Adams can't play too. I think this is going to be a shootout. I think Atlanta might even have a lead in this game, and the Packers got to come back. I'm a little concerned about it. But at the end of the day, I'm going to go Green Bay here. They got the better coach, I think, in LaFleur. And Matt Ryan will probably is good enough to outduel Aaron Rodgers. But I don't trust that defense at all. They're giving up 36 points per game. And if they're dinged up, Rodgers and Aaron Jones should be able to move the ball with ease.
I mean, I think you're going to see that they're going to score points. I just don't ultimately think one team's going to be a little more careful with the football. So that's where I see this right now for sure.
Game of the week with Titans and Steelers getting postponed. Game of the week, Patriots, Chiefs. Who you got?
It will not be close, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm struggling to see where New England matches up well.
They don't.
Well,
they
so...
I mean, they have good corners. Their D-backs are good.
Yeah, the thing with New England is we're going to figure out if their defense is any good. The one game they played against a pretty good quarterback and Russell Wilson, or I shouldn't say pretty good, great quarterback. They gave up 35 points, gave up a lot of yards. I think that's likely what kind of defense they are. Last week they played, the Raiders, kind of unreliable. Dolphins don't have an offense.
No, I agree.
Patrick Mahomes is going to just sling it all over the field. I don't think New England's going to be able to slow him down at all.
Nope. No shot.
Chiefs as well.
No shot.
So we have some differences, but for the most part, we're about the same.
Sometimes you don't have a choice. It's like,
like you said a couple weeks ago, this is one of those weeks. It's fairly easy. There's a couple of games in there I think are 50-50, but all right.
Yeah. All right, brother. Good to talk to you.
Always good to talk to you as well.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
Later.